We're here today at King Jewelers on Route 3A in Cohasset to see how they make beautiful custom jewelry. Inside the shop, you'll see a wide assortment of gold, silver, diamonds, but then there's lasting impressions. And it's made from the unique fingerprint of someone you love. So I'm here with Valerie King, who's one of the owners of King's Jewelers here in Cohasset. And Valerie, tell me how you came up with this idea of thumbprint jewelry. It's really something different.
It's fingerprint jewelry because you can do any finger or your thumb, depending on what you prefer. And it was my daughter who actually came up with the idea. We figured out how to get it done and got the supplies, the materials, showed them to Mark, and he creates them.
Wow.
Yes, if you want to bring your child in, we do adults as well. We'll do it here for you, or if you would like to have a kit sent to you, if it's not convenient for you to come in, you can have the kit sent to you. And
now, what's in the kit?
In the kit, you get directions, you get a little bead. Mm-hmm. Here, I'll take this out for you.
That's a wax bead, right?
A wax bead, yes. Wax bead.
Yeah.
And this, to write the person's name on it after you get the impression.
Okay.
Because we do also engrave the name on the back of the fingerprint. And then we supply you with one of these little plastic caps to put it in to keep it protected, and then you can mail it back to us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if somebody's out of town, for instance, you could send it across the country and they could make the impression and bring it back.
Okay. Correct.
Valerie heated the little wax bead in warm water to soften it. Then I pressed my finger onto the wax and held it there for a minute or so. When I took my finger away, the wax held a perfect impression of my fingerprint. The good news is that if you make a mistake, just roll the wax bead up, soften it in warm water, and start all over again. Once we had the wax fingerprint, we took it to the workshop behind the store, where jewelry designer Mark Corey takes over. Mark attached the wax impression to a little mount. He placed it in a steel canister and poured wet plaster into the canister and let it harden. The plaster forms a mold for the fingerprinted wax. Then the whole thing goes into a hot kiln to bake.
This is now being placed into a kiln at about 1300 degrees, 1350 degrees. The temperature will come up and melt the wax that's inside the plaster. That'll sit in the oven for about 2 hours.
It's called the lost wax process. In the heat, the wax melts away, leaving a mold of the fingerprint in the plaster. Mark selects the metal, in this case, little silver beads. He'll melt them and pour them into the fingerprint mold where the wax once was.
Now I'm melting the metal. Okay? Yeah. Vacuum machine on to create a vacuum inside the flask that'll draw the metal. Once it's poured, it'll help draw the metal into the cavity that's left in the plaster.
Once the metal has set in the mold, Mark puts the plaster in water where it dissolves, leaving the metal fingerprint behind. Then it's time to remove the base, clean it up, and polish it.
What I like about what I do is that I can create heirloom pieces, one-of-a-kind type pieces, and just brings pleasure to people. No two fingerprints are the same, and they make for a very special piece.
The silver pendant comes with a chain, and that's $150. Gold does not come with a chain because most people have their own gold chains at this point, and we wanted to try to keep the price down as much as possible, so that's $450 for the gold.
You have necklaces and earrings, and I see you have cufflinks too for men.
We do cufflinks for men.
I know that you told me you had a bracelet made.
Yes, we do charm bracelets as well. So, for instance, I have 8 grandchildren, and
That's hard to believe.
and I'm going to make a charm bracelet with all 8 of their fingerprints instead of the traditional silhouettes as charm bracelet that
Right.
you and I grew up with.
Right.
The fingerprint is actually, to me, a little bit more special. So we actually do people who have passed on. My daughter will take the fingerprint of someone who's passed on. It might sound a little creepy, but if you think about it, I know my father passed away 28 years ago, and I would love to have his fingerprint close to my heart. So
I would love that too. So what, she would actually go to a funeral home?
she will, or we will teach the director how to do it themselves.
A great Mother's Day or Father's Day gift.
It's a terrific gift, yes.
Now, how long does it take to get these made?
During this time of the year, because of Mother's Day coming up, we really need 4 weeks. Now, if you don't come in time, you can present the kit.
Right.
And that way you can have the print done at your convenience and bring it in afterwards to have it created.
Okay, so all you dads out there who've waited till the last minute for Mother's Day, come on into King Jewelers and pick up one of these kits. Give it to your wife for one of the most interesting and unique pieces of jewelry I've ever seen.
King Jewelers is on Route 3A in Cohasset, just a few doors down from Starbucks, near the Situate line, or visit them at kingjewelersinc.com.